tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball.
Good afternoon. You're listening to WQKE-LP 93.9 FM out of Plattsburgh, New York. Today, it is 3 o'clock for your top of the hour sports report with Desmond and Liam, number 2 on the week. Desmond, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling lovely. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for asking. It's been a not pretty mundane couple days of sports. It's a little rough with not having college basketball on the weekend. I kind of become accustomed to that in the last couple of weeks.
No NFL moves.
No,
nothing really.
Yeah, this is I think the roughest stretches of the year. This is up there, but it's about to pick up.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
we're going to see more free agents like Tyrann Mathieu yet to sign to a team.
Yep.
We're going to see college basketball start its conclusion, and then basketball playoffs
Hockey playoffs.
soon. Hockey playoffs. Baseball will be starting up soon.
Next week, I think.
Yeah, pretty sure next week. Yeah, hopefully it'll start picking up.
And the Masters are next week.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, actually. Well, our twinning attire today is like comfortable pants, so I'm wearing joggers. You?
I'm sweatpants.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called.
Black. You're wearing gray. I'm wearing black. Pretty unoriginal one, but hey, there's nothing wrong with a sweatpants Wednesday, man.
I'll take it.
It's comfortable. I think the first thing we should talk about today is the Tiger Woods thing. No, it's not controversial. It's there's a huge.
You can take this.
There's a huge debate going on right now whether or not Tiger is going to play at the Masters. He said, I want to say a month ago at an event that he was in pain still. Which, I mean, he flipped his car and shattered his leg. So I'm sure he's in a lot of pain.
It's a big boo boo.
And when he played at the PNC father-son tournament at the end of December, he was using a cart to get around. He couldn't walk, but he was still swinging, and his swing looked great, and he was hitting the ball great that day, or those 2 days, sorry. That was the day he was playing with Charlie. I'm sure you saw that all over Twitter. So I guess next is, will he play in the Masters? And obviously he's won the Masters in the last 3 years, because he won it 3 years ago. Dustin Johnson won it the previous one, or the second previous one, I'm sorry, and then Hideki Matsuyama won last year. So there's still, he's still, if he can play like he did in 2019, I believe. By the way, if you ever want goosebumps, watch him win the Masters. It's the coolest video. It's the coolest video ever. Because he's just, so calm, so collected, hits his final putt and just loses his mind on the putting green. And then he, hugs Charlie. It's just so cool. But, do I think he could be in the competition? The golf, like every sport, is just getting so much more competitive because they're just, it's no longer the 90s where you can be a Joe Schmo and just come on and play on tour.
Yeah.
Or not a Joe Schmo, but an above average golfer and go play on tour. Now you basically have to be playing. I know Colin Morikawa has been playing since he was really, really young, and you basically dedicate your life to that.
Yeah.
So, Tiger's, what I'm getting at here is that Tiger's got a very tough field to compete against if he does play. I know all the people on tour want him to play. I think Rory McIlroy made a comment about it today, and Scott Van Pelt said he thinks that Tiger could be in competition if he plays. I don't know. I know he's a really competitive guy, and I know if he doesn't think he could win, he wouldn't just play, if that makes sense. So, I would love to see it. I love watching Tiger play. I don't agree with everything he's done off the course, but he's an absolutely phenomenal person to watch play.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and of course we'll keep you updated on their Masters coverage. Golf is another thing that's kind of my thing, so fun for me.
That's all I know.
All right, next. This will be our big segment today. We're going to grade the football offseason moves.
Yep. We have some trades, some signings, some miscellaneous, I guess you could say.
Yeah, moves.
Just a bunch of moves. You ready to start?
Yeah. First one, the Matt Ryan trade.
For the Colts, if we're going off the pure upgrade from Wentz to Matt Ryan, give a B+.
I'd say a B.
B+. But when you consider that, I don't know. I think
a B. I want to give him B+ status.
They only give up a third?
I don't know the exact.
It wasn't
haul.
much. I know that.
It's not the haul that makes me mad. You can give up low draft picks all you want. They usually don't pan out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Usually 3rd through 7th round, they're very hard to get to pan out. However, my problem with this trade is the Colts, it's a very short-term solution to an extremely long-term problem that I feel like the Colts have refused to address. They've had multiple draft opportunities to take quarterbacks in the last 5 years.
I've said it for the Colts multiple times because I know some Colts fans. If Desmond Ridder is available to them in the second round, select him. Let him play under Matt Ryan for a year or two, and then let him take the reins.
There's so many good quarterbacks. Or there's so many. Sorry, let me reword that.
There's no elite quarterbacks, but there's a ton of quarterbacks that have
quarterbacks.
They
potential.
have high floors, but they don't have very high ceilings.
You know who a good comparison is? Like, a lot of them remind me of Josh Allen type quarterbacks coming in the NFL. Like, Sam Howell really reminds me of Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just they have all the physicals. It's just they need other things to work out. Like,
yes.
Kenny Pickett has a lot of things going right for him. There's one or two things that could really harp him. Malik Willis, I've said multiple times, if everything goes right for him, he could be a phenomenal quarterback. But it's just a matter of if these things will go right, because it's not always common that you see that.
And even like Corral, Ritter, and
I mean, Desmond Ritter was like the number one guy for everything at the combine.
Yeah.
So
and then you
never know.
And then I think of Matt Corral. Matt Corral has the physicality, just
Absolutely.
doesn't really have an arm. And it's just like the Josh Allen type. Like, if you can push these, they're all five of those quarterbacks that we've talked about in the last 35 seconds have the potential to be good, but can they go right? I don't know. Yeah. And I think the Colts should take a quarterback. I agree. For this trade, definitely a B for me.
Yeah, I'd go B+.
Like, I think it's with the market and how they kind of got, I would say, exiled from the market in a sense. I know I don't know if this is, I'm not an analyst, or I'm not an insider, I'm sorry. I think they should have been more aggressive with the Aaron Rodgers thing, to be honest. Yeah. That's a team that I would want to go to if I was Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
Because they're such a good quarterback away team, really solid defense.
You play in a dome.
Best offensive line.
One of the best offensive lines in the league.
Best running back in the league, essentially.
One of the best running backs in the league. You have good weapons in T.Y. Hilton, as much as he's in a way fallen off. Michael Pittman's very solid. I believe they re-signed Mo Alley Cox, he's really growing into a very solid tight end. But yeah, I mean, I'd go B+ for the Colts, and for the Falcons, I'd go D. I mean,
whatever.
Yeah. You were gonna. It was kind of clear after the whole Deshaun Watson thing that they were looking to move on from him. I don't know if you would have been able to get much more.
I don't think you could have done any more.
To get a third-round pick, and now you have, unless you draft someone, your starting quarterback is likely to be Marcus Mariota, quite the downgrade, and you didn't get much in return. So I'd give it a D.
This draft, it's kind of like, what's the year the Giants picked Daniel Jones?
2019.
This is becoming a 2019 season where there are not a lot of quarterbacks available, but a lot of teams who need quarterbacks. Make sense?
Yeah,
There's probably 4 teams in the first round.
Well, I mean, even then, like the Daniel Jones year, you had Kyler.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then that was really it.
That was it.
Everyone was hyped on Dwayne Haskins. I wasn't, because I knew the system he was in would not produce an NFL caliber quarterback, and as we've seen, it didn't. I wasn't very high on Drew Lock. Look at how he's turned out. And even then, I wasn't high on Daniel Jones, but even then, he's shown the most promise out of everyone who's not named Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I'd say.
But I don't know. It's every now and then you'll get a really weak quarterback class, like 2013 or 2014, where your first round quarterbacks were Geno Smith and what was the other? EJ Manuel.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad too, because this is like one of the most quarterback hungry drafts I've ever seen, and a lot of teams are going to have to grab at straws to be able to do things. But that's irrelevant to what we're talking about. Next trade, the Amari Cooper trade. First, for the Browns, it was a C. Then the Deshaun Watson trade happened. Now it goes up to about a B or a B plus. I would say
I'd go up to an A, because not only are you getting a top receiver in the game to pair with, if he can play, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but at first it was Baker. Baker couldn't even make Odell Beckham
but still, you have to look at the base trade. Look at the base trade. Look at what they gave up and look at what they got in return.
I agree, but the reason they can give up, the money is going to hurt them.
No,
in the long run.
Absolutely.
No one's talking about that. There's a reason the Cowboys traded him.
No, I understand, but there's also the reason the Cowboys traded him, because they couldn't afford him because of contracts like Ezekiel Elliott. It's just something to also mention. But when you combine Deshaun Watson, if not he can play, I'm not talking about that right now. That becomes an A trade, because you're getting a top 10 receiver arguably a top 10 receiver in the game, pairing him with arguably a top 10 quarterback in the game.
Now it's about a B plus for me.
Yeah.
I think I'm more adamant. Maybe I'm just cheap, but I think I'm more adamant on the money thing.
I understand.
Than you, and that's why it goes down lower for me.
For the Cowboys, F.
For the Cowboys, D, because they were going to release him.
No, I understand that. I do understand that, but here's why it's an F. You just traded your number one receiver because your number 2 running back is getting paid $20 million a year.
Oh, absolutely. But
that is why.
But that doesn't make the trade an F. It makes their general management. It makes Jerry Jones
No,
an
I
F.
understand that, but the trade shouldn't have had to happen. It should have
I
been
agree.
Zeke who got traded, not Amari Cooper.
And it also is it's like procrastinating a homework assignment. Because when CeeDee Lamb steps up, which I think he will because he's insane if anyone watched him, he had to take passes from Dak Prescott, and he looked good. The Dak Prescott slander continues because I can't stand it.
Slander.
Whatever.
But with that...
He's going to have to get... What I'm getting at here is CeeDee's going to have to get paid at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And if they weren't... It's just going to make a big wormhole in my mind.
They could end up drafting another one because they lost Cooper. They lost Cedric Wilson, I believe.
Yeah.
They lost... Gallup.
Gallup, they re-signed.
I just don't get that. Why trade Cooper to re-sign Gallup?
I don't know. Cooper. If you watched Cooper last year, he had a regressing year.
Yeah, but he was also
hurt.
He's dealing with injuries.
So this one is a little controversial between us. I think now that the Deshaun Watson trade happened, it went up a lot. But when they had Baker, it didn't make much sense to me.
I agree 100%.
All right, next we have Tom Brady coming back. Obviously an A.
Yeah.
It's not really a move per se. It's more that the Bucs got really lucky.
Yeah.
But the Bucs also really classy move. A for the Bucs management because really classy move by their management. Waiting, they didn't go out and try to get Rodgers. They didn't go out and try to replace Brady. They kept the door open for the guy, and I respect that a lot.
No, absolutely. But I go A plus.
Great move, and also he did it at a perfect time.
You went from Brady to Kyle Trask back to Brady. I'd say that's a W in anyone's book. And now that also clears up the way to potentially draft an offensive line to replace.
What's that guy's
the guy
name?
that retired? I really like him. I cannot think right now, so we'll move on.
Lil Collins of the Bengals, awesome move.
A. He
Absolute
was very good for the Cowboys last year, and obviously sucks for the Cowboys to lose him. But again, they cut him because they couldn't pay him.
Yep.
So again,
thank you, Zeke.
Yep. Yeah. But they're taking what was one of the worst offensive lines in the league. You add Alex Kappa, you add Lyle Collins, and now you're going to probably end up drafting someone, potentially a Zion Johnson, Ed Ingram type player in the first or second round. You're going to go from one of the worst to potentially one of the better offensive lines.
Yeah, the
in
Bengals.
Because if you can come out with a starting offensive line next year of Jonah Williams, Alex Kappa, whoever at center, Zion Johnson, and Lyle Collins, that will literally go from one of the worst to one of the better offensive lines in the entire NFL.
And Burrow is now used to having to have literally 15 milliseconds in the pocket.
Yeah.
Now he goes from having actual time in the pocket. I think he's going to have another really good year next season.
Yeah. And do you want to talk about the two releasing?
Yeah, we can. Cole Beasley releasing. I think for your PR staff, that's an A.
No, for PR, that's an A, but again...
I would not.
Just clearing up money for the Vaughn contract. It doesn't
fine.
Not a really crazy move. He's a very solid slot receiver.
It's a solid 2-3.
Exactly.
Julio, this one's weird for me because the Titans did give up quite a bit to get him.
Yeah, it's again, you don't have the money to pay him. He's old. He's dealt with a lot of injuries last season, so it's to the point where look what Amari Cooper got traded for. Look who we're going to talk about in a second. We're going to talk about at some point Robert Woods. Look at what those two got traded. And you can argue that they were both better than Julio last year, even when Julio played.
Julio didn't play much.
Yeah, still. But at that point, what are you going to do?
The Titans' problem isn't receiver, it's quarterback. And I think everyone knows that. So
It's
that's why this move is
quarterback,
fun.
it's player health, it's a lot of things. But
Juju to the Chiefs. This move's a little weird for me.
In terms of how annoyed I'm going to be before every pregame, F, because I can't stand Jackson Mahomes, and I am slightly annoyed by Juju Smith-Schuster on TikTok, but in terms of reality of what the move is, especially after the Tyreek Hill trade, I go like a B.
I would say it looked a lot better without the Tyreek Hill trade.
Yeah, I agree. Because right now he's your number one guy, which he has proven he cannot be.
No, absolutely. And
so
before the Tyreek Hill trade, it was like a B+ to me. Now it's
like B- C+.
Now it's fallen hard because it's making it's. I don't want to give it a grade. But
I'm sure they'll draft someone. They are 2 first-round picks
and they
now,
just signed
second-round picks. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, yeah.
Draft another. I don't know. You put another speedster receiver on the team. I like that.
I'd go B- C+.
Yeah,
anywhere from there.
Allen Robinson, the Rams.
A.
Great move.
A+. You have a receiving core. I mean, obviously Robert Woods is not there, as we're going to get into, but you have arguably the best receiver in the NFL in Cooper Kupp. and then you add another top receiver who has been held down by poor quarterback play his entire career.
Justin, yeah.
Look at how bad his quarterbacks has been his entire career, and
Just go through 'em.
And look at how good he's been. I'll go by. I'm not gonna have like the most accurate because I'm not entirely sure, but I'll go by quick. Let me wait. No, I want to look up.
Yeah,
stats.
while we're playing that up, an absolute.
I got it right here. 2021. So you have Justin Fields,
Yeah.
Andy Dalton. 2020. I don't even.
Mitch Trubisky,
Was he? Yeah, Trubisky.
2019.
It's basically just Trubisky. It's just Trubisky, and then
If you can be okay,
it basically goes like Chad Henne, Blake Bortles,
Chad Henne.
Mitch Trubisky, Andy Dalton, Justin Fields. Like that is pretty terrible. Like he had 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns with Blake Bortles as a quarterback.
yeah, so
Yeah,
you got to give him a lot of credit. And good move for the Rams.
absolutely.
Now Stafford just has weapons all day. They could really repeat.
No, I agree. I mean, obviously losing Andrew Whitworth is going to hurt. Losing Odell is going to hurt.
But they haven't officially lost him yet.
Yeah, he could come back, but I don't know. And then Vaughn, he wasn't anything insane for them, but he did definitely feel
Yeah,
a
he'll feel
loss
the
with his
punch.
presence. Yeah, I'd go A. You add two arguably top 10 receivers in the game. Again, Allen Robinson did have a very down year, but it doesn't take much to see that it's not entirely his fault. And-
Next, Randy Gregory to the Broncos. For what they paid him a C.
Yeah,
Does it fit
I
a
agree.
need? Yes, absolutely.
I agree
Did
with
they
that.
overpay for a need? Yes, absolutely. I think it's going to burn them in the future.
I agree. I mean, he's solid.
He's okay.
He's very good. It's just funny thinking about how everyone's like when it was announced that the Cowboys are going to re-sign him, then he backed down, went to the Broncos. I'd go like a C to a B because it could really pan out.
They
Because
just overpaid big time.
if he keeps playing, let me look up his stats from last season. If he plays like he did last year, maybe it'll be worth it. I think they're kind of hoping he can improve, but I don't know. The Broncos.
I
are
watched
very
Randy
interesting
Gregory
team.
get destroyed by Kyler Murray.
Let's see.
There's a random fact for you.
What?
What?
This is who they paid that. I mean, again, stats are not everything. But he had, in 12 games played, in which in these games he played 55% of defensive snaps. Not bad. He had 6 sacks, he had 19 combined tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 17 quarterback hits, 3 forced fumbles.
Told you he's okay.
Yeah, that.
But
yeah,
he
no,
also
for
kind of
that
did
money,
get.
that's pretty
He
bad.
also did kind of get overshadowed by. I think Micah Parsons doing a lot of
No,
getting the
absolutely.
quarterback.
Absolutely.
So all right, next.
Titan trade for Robert Woods.
It's fine.
I mean, they gave up little to nothing, and they added, if he can be healthy, a very solid second receiver next
Better
to
than
A.J.
Julio
Brown.
because Julio basically didn't play last season.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on his health, because, again, he's getting paid a lot of money. That's why they were able to get him for nothing. So it depends on if he can stay healthy, and if he can maintain his level of play that he's had the last couple of seasons. But as of right now, I'd go probably like a B.
Yeah, I'd say a B. It's like I said,
It would be
it's
higher.
fine.
It would be higher if he wasn't getting paid that much.
It's fine. Deshaun Watson trade for the Browns.
I'm going to break this into two different segments. As morally and as a organization that should be respected, F.
Absolutely.
But as a pure trade with not looking at a single other thing, like A.
Yeah, I'd say like an A.
You gave up a lot, but if when healthy, Deshaun is arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and then you replace Baker, who was a big issue. But
and you have Cooper and Nick
now
Chubb.
Cooper, Nick
a good
Chubb,
offensive
Kareem
line.
Hunt if he comes back. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if he is. They ended up cutting J.C. Treader, which is unfortunate, but they still have Joe Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Willis. That's two Pro Bowl players, and Jedrick Willis could be a Pro Bowler at one point.
So morally an F. I'd say an A. This is where it gets a little hard for me because like I would start to say an A minus because now the rumor is, have you started to see this on Twitter and everywhere? It's on ESPN too that Goodell is being very weird in how he's commenting about if he's going to suspend him.
Goodell, I don't even want to get
There's
into
a
Goodell.
like I told you this right when they got traded that this is a major it can end up being a major liability for the Browns.
No, absolutely.
And this is why they haven't moved Baker. Fun fact for you.
No, yeah, they haven't.
They definitely have interest. I know everyone's making memes about how nobody wants Baker, but they definitely have interest. There's no way they don't.
No, absolutely.
There's no way they don't.
Yeah.
They definitely have interest.
Baker had a down season, but there's no way that no team wants him.
Yeah, he definitely has gotten interest from teams, and there's a reason they aren't moving him, and that's what makes it like an A- for me. If it pans out, it's a good move.
Absolutely. Okay.
Teron
Armstead to the Dolphins, A+.
Yeah, good move.
Yes, they paid him a lot. I understand that, but they had arguably the worst offensive line in the league, and you had one of the top left and or right tackles in the entire NFL to protect Tua. That's an A+ move. Again, you paid him a lot. But I don't care at that point. The left tackle is arguably the most important position in football. You need to anchor that down, and you did with Teron.
Yeah, I'd say just they fill the need. Maybe they overpaid, but this isn't like as convincingly overpaid.
It is a rightful overpay.
Yeah, and it isn't like the Randy Gregory one where it's like, man, that could hurt them. Like,
yeah,
if it could definitely work out. I don't think the Randy Gregory is going to work out.
No.
This one's kind of minuscule. The next one's big. Devontae Adams, the Raiders, for the Raiders, an absolute A.
Raiders, it's an A+.
Knocked it out of the park.
You gave up a first and second round pick.
For probably the best receiver in the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. For not only the best receiver in the game, but like what players were you going to take that would give you the impact that Devontae Adams will?
None.
No.
There's none.
But
it's such a good trade. The Raiders are really good at trading, fun fact.
No, absolutely.
Like the Amari Cooper trade, great trade for them now that you look back on it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just in terms of what they do with those picks that they get, where they take Henry Ruggs and
they didn't
Damon Arnett.
That one was bad.
Cleveland Farrell and
wait a second. The Raiders might not be good at trading.
They're good at trading, but they're terrible at drafting.
They've been good at trading
and then taking Alex Leatherwood, who was literally the worst offensive lineman in the entire NFL. Not saying that he could not turn it around, because Andrew Thomas was not very good his rookie year, and he had turned into arguably a top 10 tackle in the entire NFL. But for the Raiders, an A plus, Packers D.
Let's relate the Packers to our next move, the Aaron Rodgers signing. I know it's not listed here, but it needs to be talked about. The Aaron Rodgers contract. Those combined make it about a C at absolute best for me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's good to keep Aaron Rodgers.
Some of our listeners are big Aaron Rodgers fans. My step-uncle's a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. But I don't understand the justification for paying that much for him. I don't. Just let him go and rebuild.
Not only do you have Jordan Love, who I don't know, he's not. When I watched him, he wasn't the best.
He did play against the Chiefs, though.
He needs experience, is what I'm trying to get across. And you're in one of the worst cap situations in the NFL.
Gets even worse.
But you can't. I don't know. He's 38 years old. How long is he going to play under that contract? Then
You're just putting off a rebuild in my mind. And if they win a chip, I'm going to. You can quote this now. I'm going to lose my mind if they win a chip. I don't think they have the weapons for it.
If they can draft. They have 2 first-round picks now, but what are the odds of those guys being what Devontae Adams is ever? It's very small.
Yeah,
but
they had to trade him.
I understand that.
That's the other thing about this move that we're not talking about. It's not like the Packers just did this; that he wanted out. So
yeah, no, but still, you got to get more for that. But on to the next one, we have the Russell Wilson trade. A plus for the Broncos.
The only reason it's not an A plus is giving up Noah Fant kind of hurts, but
yeah, but even then, you have Albert Okpawekum. I know I mispronounced that, but whatever. You give up not an insane amount. Was it 2 first-round picks, I think, and those players?
Yeah.
And you get arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, definitely a top 10 quarterback.
Great move.
Absolutely.
And the Broncos are the biggest one quarterback away team
of
the entire NFL before this happened. Now you go for it.
They nearly made the playoffs with. Who do they have a quarterback? Teddy?
They had Teddy and Drew Lock rotating.
Yeah, that's rough.
But great move, and now they're serious contenders. And I love when teams push all their chips in.
Oh, absolutely, me too.
I love when teams. It's essentially what the Rams did last year, but it's for some reason panning out where you just push all your chips in. Hey, we're going to win chips. We're going to get aggressive and try to win a chip.
Exactly.
Great trade.
Up next, we have J.C. Jackson signing with the Chargers. I agree, that's an A plus. One of their bigger weaknesses was secondary. They needed a playmaker in the defense, and they signed arguably the biggest playmaker in the NFL. He's young. Not to mention he's young. You didn't give up anything for him. That's an A in my book.
Oh, by the way, for the Seahawks, we didn't talk about that. We talked about the A for the Broncos.
B plus.
I'd say B, good way to start a rebuild. Back to J.C. Jackson, A. Absolute A. Great move.
Absolutely. I'm a huge J.C.
And I don't
Jackson.
mind the move for the Patriots either, because I think the Patriots have a little bit of a cap situation, if I remember correctly.
Not too bad, but when there's another move that I completely forgot about, you can keep going. I'm going to look it up quick.
My thing with the Patriots, maybe I'm just grabbing at straws here, but I think corner has become I told this to you and you agreed with me that corner has become a very replaceable position to them.
Yeah.
And they had Gilmore, just got rid of him, replaced him with J.C. Jackson. I'm sure someone's next in line. I know their defense was pretty stacked last year. Obviously, that game against the Bills wasn't their best showing, but it was the entire season. It was fine. They still have Duggar and all those people. So
yeah,
good. I don't think it's the worst thing for them to give up on him, but I think it's a great signing for the Chargers. Basically, get one of the best.
Yep. I want to, before I move into the other ones, there's a trade that I completely forgot about that makes me angry when I look at it. Do you know that the Patriots traded Shaq Mason to the Buccaneers for a 5th-round pick?
Really?
So, yeah, they don't need a guard. They don't need to sign a guard. Or draft. Well, they could because they lost Alex Kappa. They lost Alex Kappa, too. But it's just the fact that Bill Belichick just traded one of the best guards in the entire NFL for a 5th-round pick.
He doesn't care.
As a Giants fan, I'm looking at that and I'm like, why did we not get in on that? I would have given up a 2nd-round pick for him. He's young-ish. I think he's 28, which is crazy to think because I remember when he was drafted. Yep, he's 28. He's 28, one of the best guards in football, and he's given up for a 5th-round pick. I would have given up a 2nd-round pick for him. You know?
Bill Belichick just doesn't even care because it's all system.
He's probably gonna replace him with someone better.
Khalil Mack trade.
Khalil Mack. Oh, I don't even have that written down. A for the Chargers.
B for the Chargers.
I can see why. He's old. He's not as good as he used to be. But what did they give up, a 2nd-round pick?
Yeah, but
2nd and 5th.
I think he's got a big contract if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but they're going all in. Got to go all in.
You have to in your division.
They needed another edge rusher next to Joey Bosa, and they got that. So now they have 2 of the most premier edge rushers in the entire NFL. But for the Bears, F. They gave up 2 first-round picks in a couple seconds, I believe, for Khalil Mack. Then obviously he played well for them, but he was dealing with injuries. And then you ship him off for a 2nd.
I mean, he did play really well for them, and they did have one playoff,
no, I understand
or a couple
that.
playoff.
But it's just you got to get more in return.
So most of the moves have been positive. Let's get to a bad one.
Christian Kirk to the Jaguars. I'm probably the biggest Christian Kirk fan for a weird reason because me and my dad decided to open up a mystery box of autographed jerseys, and we got a Christian Kirk. I believe went to Texas A&M. Got a Christian Kirk Texas A&M jersey, and I liked him a lot after that. I still do. I believe he's a very good receiver. I don't think in any situation will he ever be worth the money he was paid, but I believe he's a very good receiver. He's a very good slot guy. He could be a number 1 guy. I've been pushing for him to be a number 1 guy since they drafted him. But it really the Jaguars can't pay an unproven guy that much. Yeah, I believe he could be that guy. I want him to be that guy, but you don't know if he can be that guy. Mm-hmm. No one knows if he can be that guy, which is why you can't pay him that much. But in another move to the my grade, I'd probably go D, just because you are getting a solid receiver.
Maybe not an F. That was a bit dramatic. I would say maybe an E or an F. I just think it's a lot of money and it's going to hurt.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, they are at the end of the day they're getting a very good, solid receiver, but the contract does make it terrible. And then another Jaguars movie, Brandon Scherff to the Jaguars. A, you're getting one of the top, most premier guards in the NFL. I don't think they paid him an insane amount, and you're just helping protect Lawrence Taylor, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they're probably, if I'm them, I still draft Evan Neal because you can have Cam Robinson on the left side, who's not bad. I would say Andrew Norwell, but he just retired. No. They have Andrew Norwell. It's their center that retired that we talked about on the show last time, who retired. And then you have Brandon Scherff at right, and then you have Evan Neal at right tackle. Again, going from one of the not-so-good offensive lines to one of the best in the league if you do that. And then for the last trade...
Nice.
Well, we have one more signing with this last trade. Wait, no, this was a signing. It was Chandler Jones to the Raiders. A. Maybe you paid him a lot, but
that's fine.
Him and Max Crosby are going to tear things up. It is going to be they are going to be one of the best pass rushing duos in the NFL next season. There's no doubt behind that.
finally.
Russell Gage.
My
to the
most
Bucks.
underrated move this offseason.
I'll go A. Because not only is it you're not paying him that much, he's a great gadget receiver. He's a great slot guy, fast, young, perfect Brady receiver. He'll fill the Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson role for that team very well. I like the move a lot.
love this move. I think it's the most underrated move this offseason. It fell under the radar because of a big offseason, but what you were missing against the Rams and what you would have won you that game
is
was
a dynamic playmaker.
Yeah, having another target.
I love Mike Evans. I believe he
played a great game too.
No, I believe he's one of the best receivers in the league, but he's not a very dynamic receiver.
No, and now you have Godwin coming back, hopefully.
Yeah.
He has an ACL tear, so I know that can take a little bit longer than an offseason. So you have that potentially coming back. You filled the Antonio Brown hole with, I think, someone, even if he isn't better on the field, you don't have to deal with the offseason.
Yeah.
The off the field, antics. So there you go. So that's all we have. I pulled this up because I just remembered it. ESPN posted, who will win a Super Bowl first? This is our final football topic for the day. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, or Lamar?
Realistically, probably Josh Allen. Because I'm not saying that I don't think the Bengals are going to be good next season, but I oddly enough think that they're going to be one of those teams that go to the Super Bowl and then next year they're not that good. I could see it happening. I think they'll maybe make the playoffs. I just don't see them going right back to the Super Bowl right away.
I think that having to go through the Chiefs is
going to hurt all those guys.
What happened to the Chiefs in that AFC Championship game was very lucky. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I'd say probably realistically Josh Allen.
I'd say, yeah. I think Josh Allen's time's coming after that heartbreaking loss. I would assume he's coming back with some vengeance, so we'll see. Can't stand Bills fans, though. No. I just can't.
Nope.
All right, we're going to head to a quick break here. When we come back, we'll do NBA coverage, and if time, we'll hit another Sporcle quiz.
Woo!
See you then. Welcome back to WQK's your 3 o'clock sports report. We just reviewed a large majority of the NFL moves this offseason. Now let's just quickly touch on the NBA stuff because we have a good Sporcle quiz coming up for you guys, and this one's 20 minutes, so we got to go.
Okay. All right, so we'll start off with the Lakers. They're officially, as of now, of course, out of the play-in tournament after a loss yesterday to, I believe, the
Mavs.
The Mavericks.
Wait.
They had... Yeah, no, it's the Mavericks. They had no LeBron. No surprises there. I mean, obviously, the team is not anything without LeBron. But even then, they're officially out of the play-in, but yet they are tied to the Spurs because I believe the Spurs have the tiebreaker over them. The Lakers have lost 3 games in a row. LeBron will probably be out for the next couple of games. However, AD is looking to make his return soon. And then the last thing we'll talk about today is the Jazz and Clippers game last night. I watched this game. I got bored. I wanted to watch basketball, so I'm like, this game will probably be terrible, but Paul George is coming back, so I'll watch it. Turns out it wasn't terrible. I actually turned it off before the Clippers started making their comeback. The Jazz went up 25, and they ended up blowing it.
Let's talk about the Donovan Mitchell thing.
The thing that happened in the game?
So Donovan Mitchell at the end had a big inbound. Looked to the ref, called a timeout. Turns out the Jazz didn't have any timeouts. He got a tag and basically blew the chances.
Yeah, I
Hilarious.
mean, he let out his inner Chris Webber on that one. But, I mean... He said some things after the thing. He was like, I don't know, man. It's the same bleep every time. I don't know, which is making people suspect that maybe he wants out. And obviously, the Knicks are probably the number one candidate for go. He's from New York. His dad played for the Mets, I believe. I don't think his dad played for the Mets, but his dad is a coach or something for the Mets.
Really?
Yeah. I was thinking of Patrick. I don't know why I thought his dad played baseball. Yeah, maybe he did. I don't know. I can't think right now. But, yeah, I mean, he could want out, could not.
It'd be a big haul.
Yeah, I mean, you sent me the one trade package that someone suggested.
It was Boomer who suggested it. That's like
really?
A huge analyst right there.
I didn't like it. It was Randall, Quickly, Obi, Reddish, Grimes, and 2 first-round picks.
There's a lot. That's like their whole starting 5.
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell right now is better than any of those guys will probably ever be. But at the same time...
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
And 2 firsts in the NBA is huge.
Picks.
With only a 3-round... I know we were talking about how the 3rd through 7th round is sometimes irrelevant, but with only a 3-round draft picks are worth a lot more in the NBA.
And then not to mention, okay, so after that trade, what's your starting lineup? Alec Burks, Donovan Mitchell, R.J. Barrett. We wouldn't even have a power forward. And
someone coming up from the G League.
And Jericho Sims, because we're probably not, as much as I hate to say, we're probably not going to be able to re-sign Mitchell Robinson. But, I mean, that's all I have to talk about for today.
One more. Then last night, the 76ers and
yep.
Bucks played. I believe the Bucks won 118-116. This game's really big for me because I think this could be a potential preview for what's going to happen in the playoffs. Giannis dropped 40, which is absurd, and they won by 2. I think both Harden and Embiid had over 25 points. I think Embiid at 29 and Harden at 32.
I mean, obviously it's a regular season, but I mean,
it's still that all your stars came to shine.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for the Bucks.
And great for the Bucks. I think you said they're the favorite out of the East last show or something like that. I am starting to slowly turn the corner on that idea because I think playoff Giannis. I think Giannis is kind of like he gets the big game. He's a big time player in big games, and I think when big games happen, he start to get a little scared. And I would be if he dropped 40 on one of the better defenses in the league.
Yeah.
So Sporcle time. I'm going to need your laptop.
All right, that's cool. For this, it's can you name the top 10 scorers of all time for each NBA franchise? Well, here you go.
We'll have to cap it at 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right. Start off, I assume the Hawks are first?
Play quiz. Yes, the Hawks are first.
Okay, so number 1, you're going to have Dominique Wilkins.
Okay.
Bob Pettit would be on there, I'd assume. Pettit.
Sorry, I spelled it wrong. Yep. 1 and 2 right there.
Cliff Hagan. Hagan. Doc Rivers.
No Rivers.
Josh Smith.
I feel like Smith's gonna. Yep.
Is he on the Hawks or is it just Smith?
Josh Smith's on the Hawks, then Bingo Smith for the Cavs.
Bingo Smith.
And then Randy Smith came up for the Clippers.
I remember Randy Smith from last episode. Then you'd have I'm blanking. Lou Hudson, Hudson.
Yep. You have the top 4 now.
Really? Paul Millsap?
How do you spell
Probably not. Millsap.
What about Trae Young? He's not on there.
No, not yet.
I
don't know. That's all I got for them.
All right, Celtics.
Okay, I should be able to get all these. Bob Cousy, Cousy. This isn't in order or anything.
Yep.
Paul Pierce.
Yep.
John Havlicek. Havlicek.
Havlic. Okay.
Bill Russell.
Yep.
Sam Jones.
Yep.
JoJo White.
White.
White. WHITE. WHITE.
Oh, I thought you said no. Sorry. That was stupid. Sorry.
What was I going to say? Who else would there be?
You have Havlicek, Pierce, Cousy, Jones, Russell, and White. The 3, 4, 5, and the 3, 4, 5, 6 spots are open.
Oh man, I should have done.
Or 3, 4.
Should have done a little more studying. Oh wait, no. Dave Cowens, Cowens.
Yep.
Kevin McHale, MC. HALE. Is it that simple?
No.
I think he's on there, but I think we're spelling it wrong.
Okay. Do you want to go to another team?
Sure, for now.
Nets.
Brooke Lopez.
Yep.
This is a really bad team. Vince Carter. He's probably going to come up for the Raptors.
He came up for the Nets, too.
Dr. J, Julius Erving. Erving.
Yep.
Buck Williams.
Yep.
Who else am I thinking?
The generic names are helping you out because they're coming up for other people too.
Not Drazen wouldn't be on there, would he?
How do you spell that one? Sorry.
Petrovic. So Petrovic. Petrovic. Probably not because he didn't play long enough.
No.
That's a really bad team. Hornets. Yeah, Hornets. You're gonna have Kemba Walker is gonna be 1.
Yep.
Del Curry. Obviously, Steph will pop up.
Yep.
Larry Johnson.
This one might pop up, yeah.
Alonzo Mourning.
Is that spelled just like morning?
Mourning.
Okay. It didn't come up, but it came up for something else.
Really?
Yeah.
Eddie Jones, maybe?
No.
Really?
No.
Gerald Wallace. Wall is going to pop up before you finish Wallace.
You predicted it.
Yep.
Those are your top 4 right there. Kemba, Del Curry, Wallace, Larry Johnson.
I'm sure there are really bad players on here.
All right, Bulls then.
Jordan, Pippen, Derrick Rose.
Rodman.
No, not Rodman. Luol Deng, Deng.
Yep.
Joakim Noah.
Noah?
Yep.
No.
Really? No, I thought he might have been. Then you have like Bob Love.
Yep. There's your top 4. You actually have quite a few of these. Jordan, Pippen, Love, blank, Walker, blank.
Kirk Heinrich, Hinrich.
Yep. Good one.
Artis Gilmore.
Yep. Someone has 10,200 points.
Jerry Sloan, Sloan.
Yes, a former coach for the Jazz.
Yep.
One more.
How high are they up?
It's above Rose and below Hinrich.
Heinrich, so probably someone random.
All right, Cavs.
Cavs, LeBron, obviously. Then you're gonna have like Mark Price.
The gap is insane.
Yeah, I know. Brad Daugherty, Daugherty.
Yep. By the way, you have a couple of these.
Yeah,
because you have Bingo Smith, Hot Rod Williams.
Hot Rod Williams. Would or Brandon Armstrong? No, who am I thinking of? Try Armstrong. I'm sure he'll pop up somewhere.
Armstrong doesn't pop up.
Really?
That's really weird.
It's the Cavs, man. I really couldn't.
I'm trying to spell Nowitzki for the next
I know one. Someone. Try Carr. Carr. Austin Carr.
Yep. Their second one's not. You're having trouble.
Oh, probably Kyrie. I didn't think about Kyrie.
No, he's like bottom of the list, but he's on there.
Oh, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Oh God.
How do you spell that one?
Ilgauskas.
Yep, there you go. Oh. So you got 9 out of 10 for that one.
All
okay, right. Next is Mavs. I'm trying to figure out how to spell Nowitzki again.
Nowitz. Nowitzki. Ki.
Yep. So one is
Dirk. You're gonna have Derek Harper.
Yep.
Rolando Blackman.
Yep.
Maybe Nash.
Nash came up for something else.
Suns,
right?
Yeah. Michael Finley. Finley. God, this team is so bad. All time, at least.
There's
Haywood
4.
would Spencer or Brandon, whatever one they had, that was really good.
Haywood doesn't come up.
I have no idea, dude. It's the
Mavericks. All right, Nuggets.
You're gonna have Alex English.
Yep.
Carmelo.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Dan Issel, Issell. It's either one L or two L's. Fat Lever, Lever.
Yep.
Beck, I think it was like a Howard.
Yep.
Beck?
Byron
Beck. Yeah, I knew it was a Beck. Would Mahmoud Abdul Rauf be on there by chance? Rauf?
Rauf, no.
No. Maybe try. Jim Jackson would be on the Mavericks, so try Jackson because he was originally Chris Jackson.
Yeah.
So some people have it under that. Did he pop up or no?
Yeah. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf? Yep.
Yes.
I was going to say, sometimes they just put it as Jackson because it's the easier way to spell it.
That's 5 right there, or 6 right there. That's a lot more than I thought you'd get.
I honestly couldn't tell
Okay,
you.
next Pistons, Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Johnson.
You're going to have...
You have Vinny Johnson on there, too.
You're going to have Vinny Johnson. You're going to have Joe Dumars, Dumars. Bill Lambier, Laimbeers.
Yep.
Lame Beers. Bob Lanier, Lanier.
Sorry. Lainer.
Yeah.
No.
Really?
That's weird.
Lanier? I might have been saying.
Oh, yeah, that came up. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was probably saying it wrong. Then you're going to have... Would Mark Aguirre... I don't know if he'd be on the Pistons, but he's probably under the Mavericks. It's Aguirre.
Yep. Came on the Mavericks. You're the top 5 in the Mavericks.
There we go.
Do you want to go to the Warriors?
Hold on. You're gonna have Dave Bing for the Pistons. Would be another one. Then you're gonna have. No, okay, move on.
Warriors.
Curry, we already have.
Yep.
Wilt Chamberlain, he'll probably pop up for Philly if not Golden State. Chris Mullin.
Yep.
Tim Hardaway.
Yep. I remember that one from last time. He didn't pop up for the Warriors, but popped up somewhere else.
Probably the Heat. Mitch Richmond, maybe? He might pop up for another team.
Yeah, he popped up for another team.
The Kings. Barry. Rick Barry, whatever. Barry.
Yep,
Rick Barry. Nate Thurmond. TH.
Yep.
You got it? Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Next would be the Rockets, if you want to start doing that one.
Yeah, I'll do the Rockets.
Harden.
Hakeem. You have Hakeem first. O-L. J-U-W-O-N. Olajuwon.
J-U-I-W. No.
No, just J-U-W-O-N.
O-L-J-U.
U-W-O-N.
Why is that not called?
Olajuwon. Oh, wait. O-L-A. Olajuwon, sorry. O-L-A.
Yep.
Okay.
Hakeem
Harden.
Yep.
Harden. Calvin Murphy.
Yep.
Clyde Drexler. He's going to pop up for Portland, if not there.
Yep. Didn't pop up for the Rockets, but
Popped up for Portland.
I assume.
Try Smith. Kenny the Jet Smith, maybe.
No.
Mario Ellie, E-L-L-I-E.
E-L-L-I-E. No.
Really? Oh, man.
E-L-L-I-E. I don't know. Let's move on because we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Pacers.
Reggie Miller. Rick Smits.
Smits?
S-M-I-T-S.
Yep.
Paul George.
Yep.
Freddie Lewis.
No George.
You spelling George right? There's no way he's not top 10.
G-O-R...
G-E-O-R-G-E.
G-E-O-R-G-E.
Yeah. There's no way he's not.
No?
No, there's no way he's not top 10 all time.
Freddie Lewis is top 10.
Freddie Lewis, Mel Daniels.
Yep.
Danny Granger, G-R-A-N-G-E-R.
Yep.
And that's all I can name.
Okay, Clippers. Randy Smith's one.
Randy
DeAndre
Smith.
Jordan's down there, too.
That's insane. Chris Paul.
Yep.
Blake Griffin.
Yep.
Elton Brand.
Yep.
Corey Maggette. M-A-G-G-E-T-T-E.
Yep.
Who am I thinking of? Richardson? Quentin Richardson, maybe?
No.
Bob McAdoo. M-C-A-D-O-O.
M-C-A...
D-O-O.
Yep. You're missing 7, 9, and 10.
I'm not getting those. It's
All right,
probably
Lakers.
Kobe, Magic,
Yep.
Elgin Baylor. Got to remember him this time. Jerry West.
Wow, West pops up for a lot of
Gail Goodrich.
Yep.
Wow, why am I blanking? Maybe Kareem? Maybe towards the bottom.
Abdul Jabbar, right?
J-A-B-B-A-R.
Oh, that's why I put yeah. Kareem's third.
Wow. Shaq. O''Neal.
Yeah.
N-E-A-L.
We learned this one the hard way last
time.
You got one for the Pacers, Jermaine O'Neal.
I don't know how I didn't think it. Put down our test. I'm sure Ron Artest might be it. For
R-T.
A-R-T-E-S-T.
No.
Wow, okay, that's not the most surprising.
Grizzlies would be next.
Gasol, you're going to have Mark and Powell.
No, yeah, for both the Grizzlies.
For the Grizzlies, yeah. Rudy Gay.
Yep.
Mike Conley.
Yep.
Clark Kellogg. K-E-L-L-O-G-G.
No.
Mike Miller.
No.
Shane Battier. B-A-T-T-I-E-R.
Yes.
You
got most of them. Let's go to the Heat.
Yeah. LeBron is going to be on there.
Yeah, Wade. You already got Morning.
I already got LeBron, yeah. Then you're going to have,
Jones.
I'm sure Udonis Haslam's on there somehow.
How do you spell that?
H-A-S-E-L-M.
No.
What?
H-A-S-E-L-M.
H-A. Wow. Okay. I really don't know. They are not a very...
Bucks.
You're going to have...
Kareem at 1.
Sidney Moncrief. M-O-N-C-R-E-F.
Yep.
No?
No. I might be spelling it wrong.
All right, I say we call it here. There's only 5 minutes left.
All right, so what would have been left for the Timberwolves? All right, we'll just go over. Okay. Let's start with the Hawks.
Who did I
Wilkins,
miss?
Pettit, Hudson, Hagan, John Drew, Joe Johnson,
I don't know.
Kevin Willis.
I should have guessed both Willis and Joe Johnson. I knew...
Joe Johnson's on there. You had him.
Yeah, Magic, yeah, but I didn't guess him at the time. I just didn't think he
yeah.
played long enough. And Kevin Willis, I don't know why I didn't think of Kevin Willis.
And then
Let's just go over the ones I missed.
Zelmo Beatty is the other one you missed.
Who?
Zelmo, B-E-A-T-Y. Oh my God, you missed such an obvious one for the Celtics.
I always miss the worst ones.
Bird.
Yep. Yeah.
Robert Parrish, Kevin McCabe.
Yeah, I'm always gonna miss. I always miss one really bad one.
Nets. This is another one you should have had. Jason Kidd. Richard
Yeah,
Jefferson.
I did. Yeah. I was
John
just trying to think
Williamson.
of-
Kerry Kittles. Derek Coleman. Chris
Oh my
Morris.
God, I feel like if I had
Larry Bird.
If I had known for sure we were doing a Sporcle, I probably would have been able to come up with more of these, especially smaller guys like Kerry Kittles. But I just didn't. I'm
Kittles.
especially with the time rush. I'm like just trying to get as
Many as you can.
all the big names out, and then I'm digging through my head. And I like when I'm the Nets, I'm like, is Deron Williams on there? No. Could Pierce be on there? Maybe no. And then it's just those guys like just slip.
Hornets. Glenn Rice.
I should have gotten Glenn
Muggsy
Rice.
Bogues.
Again, it's just trying to get to the big names.
Raymond Felton. Dave
I
Weiss.
hate Raymond
Wesley.
Felton.
Gerald Henderson.
I should have gotten Gerald Henderson. I love Gerald Henderson.
Amara.
Huh?
Amika.
Emeka Okafor?
Yes.
Yep. I didn't think he played.
The only one he
enough.
missed for the Bulls is Reggie.
Theus?
Yes.
Yep, I should have got him.
The only one he missed for the Cavs is Larry Nance.
Oh, I should have gotten all of these. I should have gotten all of these. I know all of these players.
The Mavs, he
It's
missed
just I'm trying to rush through so much.
Jason Terry, Brad
I should've
Davis,
gotten-
Sam
I
Perkins,
didn't
Josh
think Brad
Howard,
Davis.
Jay Vincent.
The only one I'll say I'm very mad about that I should have gotten was whoever you listed first.
Jason Terry.
Yeah, I should have gotten
Nuggets, David Thompson.
I should have gotten David
Ralph
Thompson.
Simpson.
Samson.
Jokic is already on this list.
I didn't think he would be.
He's like up there too. Nino Hilario?
Nene Hilario?
Yes.
Nene is top 10 all time in scoring for the Nuggets.
Yes, he's 10.
That's unbelievable.
Okay, Pistons, Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun
Oh!
Prince. Tayshaun
Stop
Prince, sorry.
talking. I'm sorry, stop. You literally just listed two of my favorite players of all time. We gotta stop. I feel so embarrassed.
Grant Hill,
Oh my
John
god.
Long.
Oh my god.
Okay, for the Warriors,
Oh,
Paul.
how did I forget Richard
Paul
Hamilton?
Arizin,
I should've
Jeff
gone
Mullins,
Paul.
Clay Thompson, Purvis Short,
Purvis short, nervous Purvis.
Nell Johnson. Rockets, I'm not even going to go over all these you missed.
Oh,
For the Pacers, you missed Billy Knight, Roger Brown, George McGinnis,
I don't even know.
Vern
these guys-
Fleming.
I don't even know.
For the
these
Clippers, you
people
missed
are.
Danny Manning.
I should have gone Danny Manning.
I'm just trying to find the obvious ones. Byron Scott, you missed for the Lakers. Jamal
yeah, I
Williams.
always forget about him.
Zach Randolph for the Grizzlies. Sharif, you missed
Sharif
King
Abdur-Rahim.
Sharif.
Big Sharif.
Heat, you missed Glenn Rice. Chris
Yeah.
Bosh.
Yeah, no, it's again. I'm just trying to think of the big names in my mind. What?
Giannis is already second on the Bucks.
Yeah,
I was like, is Giannis going to be on here?
but no, I mean, it's just again.
and then
it's-
that's when we stopped.
the combination of the time rush and not being prepared for this killed me because there, like I said, Richard Hamilton is literally like my second favorite player of all time. Like I should have said him, and then let alone Larry Bird. But it's just the
I
time
think Larry
rush.
Bird might be the worst
The
one.
time
That's
rush.
terrible.
The time rush killed me because I
So-
didn't have time to sit and think.
We hope you enjoyed. That was a fun little segment there. We plan to have a couple
Oh,
more
that
in the
was
next
so
coming
painful.
weeks. Thank you for tuning in. If you missed today's episode or just tuning in now, go to our YouTube or Twitter.
Our Twitter is at Sports Report PLT.
Yep.
And you can find the links to our Spotify and YouTube on there.
Yeah, so go check that out. Go on YouTube. But otherwise, have a blessed evening. Have a blessed weekend.
Have a blessed night, everyone.
Good to hear from everyone. Or good to, thanks for tuning in.
I don't think
Excuse
we
me.
can hear anyone, but
Well, thanks for tuning in, and hope you have a good weekend.